Hi there friends, welcome to this video. Today we're gonna talk about, is it possible to get big at Planet Fitness? I don't have any Planet Fitness in my country, but I know in America there are a lot of Planet Fitness, and I know Planet Fitness is gonna get a lot of crap from people because of the rules there are, but still there are 20 million people that go there each year. So I think it's a big company and it's worth talking about a bit seriously for once, because we always joke about it. I can understand why. I can also understand their concept in a sense that some people might just prefer to go there and they don't really like the gym vibes of, that we see nowadays, which I can understand. Sometimes it's a bit annoying to go in a gym where everyone is literally looking at themselves in the mirror and just flexing, and sometimes it can get a bit annoying. So I can understand that there is a big part of the population that wants to go to Planet Fitness, for example. And even here, sometimes in France, you have gyms where they will make it easier for girls to have their own space, which can be understandable. It can be quite intimidated to go in a gym where some guys are benching a lot, making noise, etc. And that makes sense. So I understand the Planet Fitness concept. I know it can sound a bit silly sometimes with the alarm, etc. But why not? That's a concept and it works pretty well. And it's worth talking about to debunk, the myth about whether you can make gains or not at Planet Fitness. So I think this video will answer actually many things. I stay on the main topic here, which is, to answer you if it's possible to get big or not at, Planet Fitness. But it will also allow us and allow myself to answer questions like, are there any indispensable exercises? Because we'll see that, you might not be able to do some exercises at Planet Fitness. I'm also gonna be able to answer a question like how to improve when you have limited weight, or how to improve in a small gym, because a small gym usually has limited weight. So I think that this video is gonna be interesting, not just to answer to the people who are wondering whether to go to Planet Fitness or just curious about my answer about if you can get big at Planet Fitness. It will obviously answer all these other questions that are linked to this main topic and this main question of the Planet Fitness that I'm trying to answer today. So if we really try to take a step back and look at the question, can you get big at Planet Fitness? The question that we should first answer is, how do you get big? And in my opinion, it's always the same. It's about choosing exercises that are right for you, that you can improve on in the long term. So exercises that do scale, and also exercises that stretch and that aren't going to be dangerous for yourself. This is the definition of a good exercise, these three key components basically. So now what we have to do is look at Planet Fitness. What do they actually offer? And what don't they offer that you will find in a normal gym? Well, from what I looked at, you don't have any racks, so you can't do any sort of like, free barbell type of stuff, but you still have the Smith machine. So it's almost the same basically in terms of, weight that you can put on the bar. And then the free weight dumbbells, there are some, but they go up to 80 pounds, which is probably around 35 kg or 30 kg. So now that we know that we know what we have at Planet Fitness, we can just look at the three main things that I talked about what is a good exercise. And so what you will have to do if you go at Planet Fitness is just to think about what are the exercises that I can do there, where I will be able to scale up on the weights that is not dangerous for me and is adapted to my morphology, and which stretches the muscle, which is the goal of any exercise that you want to do to build muscle in the long term. If there is no stretch, then there is no point doing it. So as I said in previous videos, I think there is no indispensable exercise. It's not because you don't squat that you can't build muscle. It's not because you don't deadlift that you can't build muscle, or that you bench press that you can't build muscle. And actually for most people, they will build muscle by doing other exercises that are more adapted to them. And squats or bench press, for example, are definitely not something that everyone should do. There are tons of other exercises, as long as there are the three things that I talked about earlier, that you will be able to improve on, and that are totally enough. So taking this, I think that we can answer and say simply that you can actually get big at Planet Fitness. I think anyone could get very big there, because I think we can find exercises that still scale and that answer the three things that I talked about. So for example, if you are used to bench press, you can do on the Smith machine, and obviously it's might not be exactly the same, but I mean, if you know how to actually position yourself to target the right area of the chest, or simply if you do, for example, close grip bench press on the Smith machine, sure, it's linear and it's kind of the same movement because it's linear, always same trajectory, but at the end of the day, you will still build muscle, and you can also find other exercises where you will be able also to target very well these muscles. For example, if you do flies with the dumbbells, although it's up to 80 pounds, I think this is an exercise where you can actually go quite heavy still, because the goal sometimes, and this is to answer the question how to build muscle when you don't have a lot of weight, is to actually use exercises that where you don't need a lot of weight for it to be heavy. And so a good example of that for most people is lateral raises. A lot of people, even when they get to an advanced level, 15 kg or 20 kg will be a lot of weight on the lateral raises. And usually you could find this type of weight even in a small gym. And so these are exercises where when you don't have a lot of weight that you're gonna use, exercises that don't need a lot of weight to actually be heavy already. For example, if I was to be at home with not a lot of weight, for example, a pair of dumbbells that go up to 20 kg each, what I would do is try to find as many exercises as possible that with this weight, it will still be heavy. So for example, lateral raises, I would do this, if I had only a pair of dumbbells. For example, if I was, doing legs, I would do split squats. A lot of exercises also could be to do unilateral stuff, because for example, if you have a pair of dumbbell, so 2 times 20 kg, well, you might be able to put 30 or 40 kg just on one dumbbell. And so if you have 40 kg and you do unilateral with that, then you can go pretty heavy on some exercises. For example, lateral raises, imagining that 20 kg is not enough for you, then you will put just on one dumbbell 30 kg, and then you will have enough weight. So whenever you don't have much weight, try to find ways where you will still be able to do heavy stuff. Unilateral, for example, maybe it might be a bit more annoying to do that because it takes a bit more time, but that's a way of, making your weight heavier when you don't have much of it. And usually isolation exercises are pretty good to choose when you don't have a lot of weight as well, because these exercises, you can still go heavy with not a lot of weight. And so if you go to Planet Fitness, I think that this is, all the ideas that you should gather. So first, you will still be able to go very heavy on exercises that are very similar to what you can find in normal gym, where you can still scale up to maybe 200 kg, for example, on a Smith machine bench or a Smith machine squat. But then, for example, if you don't want to squat and you can't squat at Planet Fitness, you will be able to do split squats, on a bench, on a Smith machine. You can always find an exercise in a gym like Planet Fitness, for example, exercises where you will be able to scale and actually have a stretch and find still exercises that are good for your morphology. So I do think that, this really answers the question that I think if I was, if I had to go to Planet Fitness, and I had no other choice, I would improve, I would manage to improve, I would find ways, like I just explained in this video, where you can actually improve over time, progressive overload until no limit, and basically improve. Sure, there are some exercises I wouldn't be able to do, but I don't think it really matters as long as you can stretch all the muscles of your body with exercises where you can improve over time for a very long time, and that aren't dangerous for you. There's so many exercises that you will still find this even if you're limited. So I think this answers the question. Hope you enjoyed these little reminders and these little questions that were going with the main subject that I could answer for you, and that this will help you in the cases where, for example, you have to gym with not a lot of weight, or that you just wondered about this question and now you have an answer that will give you maybe more knowledge about bodybuilding. So take care of yourself, guys, and I will see you soon.